triple loving YouTube friends. Just sitting here, melting the tunnel back together here on Project Freedom. Let me shut the welder off. I'm gonna tell you two things I don't like about this Lincoln TIG welder as soon as I shut it off so we can talk. That obviously being one of them right there. The fan, I hate it. Hate the fan on it. Cheers. So anyways, we took and tapered this tunnel up on Freedom, and I was talking about the other day I was gonna have to get this welded together. That's what I'm working on right now, because I set myself a deadline. By the end of the week, I have to have all my stuff into powder coat for Freedom. I'm running out of time. I brought stuff there yesterday. I brought it over to the race coatings over there in Wyoming, Minnesota, and I warned them guys over there. I says, I'm gonna be a really impatient customer, just so you know. And they kind of laughed. I says, it's snowmobile building season. I says, and I'm behind the game right now, and I was supposed to have all this stuff here weeks ago. So now when I bring it here, I'm gonna be an impatient person. I won't call you the first week, but I'll probably call you midway through the next week. And they just laugh. They get it. And he assured me he'll push my stuff through. Trenton's stuff kind of got delayed over there, and there was a couple reasons. One is Trenton said I'd be really patient for a handsome discount, and the second was they moved their shop over the summer, and so a lot of things that ended up there in the spring, it got boxed up and moved, you know, and then they tried to get back up and running, and they were, I mean, they got really big customers that they have to, that they're really dedicated to, and they had to get their stuff done. So that's just the long story behind some of Trenton's stuff not getting done right away, but they assured me they'd jump right on mine because they get it. They said, you know, you got to get it done. So got the seam all welded back together. So back to the TIG welder. I'll even show you what TIG welder I got. It welds really nice. I love it. I mean, this aluminum, I'm not sure what, I think it's like 60 thousandths thick or something. It's thin. Down here, I had a 1/2 inch gap. You ever welded a 1/2 inch gap on really thin aluminum before? It ain't easy. But this TIG welder, I tell you, this Lincoln, it really welds balanced. It's got a nice balanced weld to it. I do all my stainless welding with it. I've done some steel welding with it. Done a little bit of arc welding with it even too. And it really, I did some nickel rod with my arc welder, with the arc welder inside of it. I welded together a cast hub for my buddy Jay's brusher for his Bobcat, and he's been out in the woods freaking hitting stumps with it again, and it's holding together. I mean, I beefed it way up, but I welded that cast freaking hub back together because you can't buy them anymore. And I added some extra brace stuff in there, but we used nickel rod on that with the arc welder side of this welder, and welded great. Like I said, my beads here, it really, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a professional welder, but they laid down nice. And like I said, this shit's thin. I didn't put a caliper on it, but it's some thin stuff here. This gap's tight up here compared to where it was down here. I mean, I ain't BSing one bit. 1/2 inch gap down here, and it was bridging it. And it, you can really feather it in nice. I run a foot pedal on this one at work. I have a thumb throttle, I call it, on the one at work, because I got like a 25-foot long lead on it, so I can move around my fab bench for fabbing stuff up with that longer torch. This one's only, I don't like the torch is kind of short on it too. The cord on the foot pedal is like 25 feet long, but the torch is only like 12 feet long on it. But so the second thing I don't like about it, so here it is, the TIG welder. One is being that fan, and it blows out the front. So you can see how I'm working here. You got to have the welder pointing away, otherwise it blows the air into your weld and it screws your weld all up. I'm not going to carry on too long about this, but the second, just in case you're looking to buy a TIG welder, it's the only reason I'm talking about this thing. Second is the post flow. You can't adjust it, and it's set. It's a pre-factory set, and it's at like 10 seconds, and I'm not exaggerating. You need a post flow of like 3 seconds. On almost any weld, 3 seconds is plenty on your post flow. That's how long the gas stays on after you stop welding. Well, it's at like 10 seconds. So it's just the gas. That's why I have such a big tank on it now, because a smaller tank, I was always out of gas. So I even told them down where I bought the thing from. I'm like, you know, there's a couple things I really don't like about the welder. And right away he says, let me guess, the post flow. And I'm like, got that right, because you're just blowing gas out. So I wish Lincoln could come up with a way to change. God, look at that thing. Jesus. Talk about gorgeous. Oh my God, that thing is beautiful. Doing some more test fitting. Oh, I gotta show you. So I finally got this in. This was some of our test fitting, but we were waiting for this clutch tool to show up. Kevin Kraus Designs again. He's the guy that's doing our all of our pole handles and stuff. He's building these things now, these clutch alignment tools. And this thing is freaking money. I don't know how Trenton got it down in here with all this stuff up. Oh, there we go. But look at this. Oh my God. I think I can quote the price. I'm pretty sure I can. I think this was $185 to my doorstep. I think that's what he had them for on Facebook. But I tell you what, I think at $185, it's anodized, it's aluminum with anodize on it. He's even got this a 12-inch center one, so it's gonna work on, this is what we're setting this one up as. 3 fingers, freedom, and wet basement are all 12-inch centers. So this tool, I bought one of these years ago because I had built a 2000 race chassis Polaris. It was a 2000 440 race chassis, and I had a mod 700 motor in it. And when I got the sled, and we put it all together with tape measures and straight edges, I thought I had the motor in straight. After riding it a couple times, I couldn't keep a belt on the thing. I ended up buying back in, this was early 2000 now, because I built this sled in 2000. I paid like almost $300 from a company for a tool very similar to that. But I had to have it. And once because we were blowing $100 belts, once I put that tool on there and lined up the clutches, and that motor was in there gnat's ass, never blew a belt again. Never. It was well worth the investment. And then when I sold the sled, I sold the tool with it. Idiot. I get it. But I love that tool. It just showed up yesterday, and very impressed with it. And I gotta hand it to Kevin. I mean, that is awesome, and he makes them in different centers. So I kind of impatiently waited for over a month for it, but he's got them rolling. And I think because right when he said he was gonna start making them, I'm like, okay, I'll take one. I don't think he was quite ready for people to jump on it right away, and so it took him a little while to fill my order. But I got it here. It's awesome. Santa Claus showed up early here today for me. I came home, got some parts. Got the gauges, I got the EGTs here for wet basement, and you can't buy a 3 these. You can't buy a 3, well you can, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg for a 3 EGT. So I'm just gonna stack them. I bought a single and I bought a dual. So I'm just gonna stack the single on top of the dual. I'm gonna make a plate to hold them all together. Obviously that'll be the center, right, left. And you can set your maximum temps, you can set warning lights and stuff on it. Those coastals, that's a good way to go. I ran them on I had a mountain mod sled with a turbo and stuff. I didn't need the EG, I had a air fuel gauge on there once I put the turbo on. But before that, I had a big bore kit in it. And I ran one of those coastal gauges, and I think it saved the motor a couple times, and then there was a couple times it kind of let me down. But that's a different story anyways. But another thing that showed up today, track. Tracks USA, got my track, 1-inch track. It was kind of a debate on how big of a track I could run in there. And some guys say you can go 1.25 with studs. Some guys said you can fit 1.5 inches. Some guys says no more than 1 inch with studs. Played it safe, went with the 1-inch lug track. And I got 1-inch 0.08 studs, carbide studs. Got my bins going together here. These are my colors. This is my white bin. It's all my white parts, blue parts, red parts. Not a lot of red parts in there. Main reason is the whole tunnel and bulkhead's gonna be red. So I'm trying to jump the other colors on there, so that's why the other bins are a lot fuller than the red bin. But there's a couple of them parts that need to be red. Like my head's red, white, and blue. My pipes are gonna be the silver chrome ceramic coat, they call it. The pipes for wet basement and the pipes for this. I brought both sets in. And then this is gonna be a silver chrome. My steering post is gonna be a silver chrome. My jack shaft will be silver chrome. All those are at powder coat right now. And then I said my goal by the end of the week, by Friday, is to be dropping this thing off at Race Coatings to get all the powder coating done, to move this thing forward so I can get it a lot closer how Trenton's sled is sitting. Oh, and then my rod end joints. I ordered rod end joints. Sunday night, I was trying to order all my rod end joints. And Dennis Kirk wasn't looking so good. Another company that I have an account through wasn't looking good. I tried Amazon, that wasn't looking good. So I like McMaster Carr. Trent and I ordered the head bolts or the head studs through McMaster Carr, and we got some stuff through Granger too. So I looked up McMaster Carr. Sure enough, they got rod end joints. So here's all my rod end joints for the suspension, the steering, everything. And the only thing I don't like about it is the steering ones are black anodized, but good quality joints, rod end joints. I got every one of them, left hand, right hands, and the large 1/2 inch ones for the lower radius rods, and the 7/16 ones for the upper radius rods. All of them, $100. $100 bill for all those rod end joints, and I just bought one for freebie off of Dennis Kirk. I bought their last one for freebie, a 1/2 inch one, and it was 35 or 45. With shipping and everything, it was like $65. I'm like, you kidding me? For one? So if you're looking for rod end joints, check out McMaster Carr. I mean, really, I'm gonna give them a whirl. I mean, there's only a couple companies that actually make them, and you know, they look like good quality joints to me. Go to Polaris, you're gonna spend 30, 40 bucks for each one at Polaris too. So I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I looked up the strength of them. They're plenty freaking strong. They're up in the 10,000 range on strength and stuff. So plenty happy. I think they'll be just fine and dandy for what I'm going to use them for. So that's all I got for now, guys. Yeah, by the end of the week, hopefully powder coat. Thanks for watching, everyone.